Hi guys, this is Zach from Watches on You, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Breitling Chronomat 44 with the new B01 in-house chronograph movement. So now let's take a look at the individual features of this watch. Okay guys, here's the watch in greater detail, and right away here I'm going to go over the watch's 44mm stainless steel case. Now, the case is kind of unique on this watch as it is entirely polished. The only brush I have found is on the numerals on the bezel. That's the only brushing I could personally find on this case. If you guys actually know of any brushing, I'd like you to tell me, because I cannot find any on the case except, yeah, I really can't find any. There's a little on the case back there too, but it is very, very blingy. So if you want to watch with a blingy case but don't want to spring for a gold watch, as those cost a lot of money, this would be great for you as it's extremely flashy. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of flashy watches, so this is a bit over the top for me, but if you want a flashy, just brash watch, this is perfect. So now moving on to the dial. The dial is a very cool gray matte dial, but then it has a cool texture in the middle. Now it's based, you can see that there's a square of it, which makes the dial look very unique. I don't see that on any other watches. I think it's a very unique feature for this one. And then it has nice contrasting black subdials with a cool metal ring around them that looks very nice. And then those again are also like kind of split into quadrants. It's kind of like the like I know Rolex does some dials where they kind of split it like that and then mix the texturing, and you can see that on all the subdials. So there is a lot of different texturing on this dial. Now it also has a tachymeter chaptering, which you can see right there. That's a nice feature. And this has a 500-meter water resistance, so actually the thickness for this is astounding considering that water resistance. We just reviewed the Planet Ocean, and you can look at that and see that's a lot thicker. But that only has another 100 meters of resistance. So and now I'll demonstrate the chronograph. So the chronograph movement in this is Breitling's B01 movement. It's their first completely in-house chronograph movement, and I've heard really only good things about it. The action is a little hard though, from when I have felt it. Reliability, I haven't heard any bad things about this, but I actually would say that personally I find the action to be a little too harsh. You really have to put a lot of force down. I mean, that might be a good thing for you, but you really do have to put a lot of force down to push that pusher in. But it does have screw-down pushers, though, so that's nice. And for the water resistance it's at, that's what you'd probably want. So now I'll demonstrate the bezel. Now the bezel is very unique. It has a lot of clicks. I don't even know the exact amount, but you can hear it. Just listen to that. Those are all individual clicks. Like it almost sounds like it's broken. There's so many clicks, but it is not. That's the way it's supposed to be. And you can see, actually, if I can get it zoomed in enough, you can probably see that what it does actually is it lines up with all of the tiny little marks on the, it actually divides those in half on the tachymeter. So you can see that for calculating speed, that's very, very good. And also, if you're using it as a diving bezel, it's also very nice, as you can get it very exact. So I'll zoom back out here. So now I'll do a wrist shot once I get this bezel back. Yeah, just hear that. It's the most unique bezel that I have ever felt. I mean, that's very, very cool. I don't know of any other watches that have bezels that click this much. So now I'll do a wrist shot. So the clasp actually is just a full safety, and then you pop down. This, I will say, is pretty cheap. The cover here, you can see it's very thin metal. I would expect this to be of higher quality. I will say, like, I don't know, Mega, has quite a bit more thickness to it than this. But the clasp is nice. It's not folded pressed metal or anything. So now for the wrist shot. One sec here. Sorry, the metal is very slippery, and that is actually one thing, because of the polishing. And it is very comfortable on there. So you can see it has a lot of links on the bracelet, which makes it very, very flexible and extremely comfortable. Now the thickness is great for a sports watch. I'd say this is well too thick for a dress watch, and just the way it looks, it's a bit too brash for a dress watch. But for sports watch, I'd say this is very good. It's got a lot of good features going for it. It has a nice chronograph movement, 500 meters of water resistance. Yeah, it looks like a very, very sporty watch. One thing I will say about this that I think is a bit odd is the numerals on the bezel are very, very futuristic. And then you can see where it says that the watch is automatic right there in red. That's like the type of font that they used when they were writing the Declaration of Independence. It's like a polar opposite. So it's kind of an odd little thing. You wouldn't really notice it, but I noticed it and I thought it was a little weird. So overall, this watch is available here at JB Hudson for $3,475. Well, $3,475. It is pre-owned here. This watch is in like immaculate condition, though. I haven't really found there are like a few tiny scratches on the clasp right there. You can't really even see them though, and that's it. That's all I found. So it's basically brand new, and this is a fairly new watch, as Breitling just recently released their new chronograph movement. So we'll leave some links in the description if you're interested of purchasing this watch or want to see the pricing a little bit more. So thanks for watching this video. Remember to subscribe to our channel and see our others. Thank you.